there, Facebook fans and loyal blog followers. I'm professional ballet dancer and ballet strength coach Nicole Klein. Today I'm here to answer some of your questions from my Facebook fan page. Today's question comes from Carolyn, and Carolyn is asking me what knuckling on point means. I guess that Carolyn's possibly getting this correction from one of her ballet teachers, and possibly her ballet teacher isn't explaining it to her well enough. So today I'm going to show you and demonstrate the difference between an incorrect knuckled foot on point and a perfectly placed correct foot on point. All right, are you ready? Here we go. So the first question that comes to mind when it comes to knuckling on point is, why am I doing it? What causes knuckling on point? It can be anything from dead point shoes to ankles that aren't strong enough to be on point. So when you do begin point work, and I'm sure your teachers have told you this, you want to make sure that your ankles are strong enough to support your body weight. So that's something that you work on in ballet class, something that you work on in pre-point and point class to ensure that your ankles are strong enough. The other thing, like I had mentioned, is dead point shoes. So if your shoes are just totally beat, totally dead, meaning smushy at the top, shank possibly broken, this will definitely make you knuckle on point and prevent you from pulling out of those arches and out of those shoes as much as possible. So this is something that, you know, I see quite frequently with young dancers and even with professionals. So you want to make sure that you have the best shoes at all times. You want to make sure your shoes are somewhat new. You don't have to use brand new shoes all the time, but you want to make sure that your shoes are supportive enough for you. Otherwise you could get injured, because knuckling can cause injury on the inside of the ankle. So now that I've explained some of the reasons why you could be knuckling, I'm going to go ahead and show you the difference between knuckling and standing correctly on point. As you can see, well, the toes are crunched, the toes are knuckled, and you can see that the foot is just bending from the toes and the knuckles. It's not lifted up through the ankles like you would like to see. So when your teacher tells you you're knuckling, it may not be to this extreme. This is definitely an extreme case of knuckling. These are super dead point shoes, but this is just an example of how bad it can get. And gosh, this is really hurting. It's putting a lot of pressure right there on my knuckles. You could break a toe doing this. You could break your ankle, and gosh, it may look like the foot's pointed, but it is very unsafe. So we're gonna go ahead over to the other side, to the correctly placed foot. When you're up on point correctly, you want to be held. You want to be right on the tip of your toe. You don't want to be too far forward. You don't want to be too far back. That's another case altogether. But if you're perfectly placed over the center of your toe, it's going to create a longer line in the leg. So here I'm up on both feet, and you can definitely see the difference between the knuckled shoe and the correctly placed foot on point. It's just a longer line, and it is much safer. All right, so there you have it. I hope I've helped you differentiate between a knuckled foot on point and a perfectly placed foot on point. Thank you for watching, of course. And if you want any more information, or you'd like to learn more about ballet strength, go ahead and visit www.balletstrength.com. Be sure to shoot me an email and send your questions out, and I'll be happy to answer them here on camera. Thanks a lot.